Could AI replace lawyers? I suppose the question is, could AI replace any of these professions out there? It's amazing what's happening with ChatGPT. I've been using that a lot. But could AI replace lawyers? I think eventually. But here's my experience so far with ChatGPT. I tried to do a little legal research, and I said, are there any cases that stand for a particular argument that I was trying to make in a court? And ChatGPT said, yes, there were 3. I was like, oh, this is great. And it listed them. And then I said, give me the summary of those cases. And it did. I thought, wow, this is amazing. ChatGPT is a game changer for lawyers doing legal research. I then went and looked up those cases and read those cases. They didn't say anything about the issue I was dealing with, and ChatGPT's summary was totally incorrect. It was like ChatGPT was describing some other case. Unfortunately, I don't think that case that I was looking for even existed, so I don't know where ChatGPT got the information. Some people call these hallucinations. I think that's probably reading a little bit too much human into the scenario. In fact, I think what it is ChatGPT, it's statistical in its prediction, and so it was coming up with information that may have made sense and passed the grammar and spell check, but it simply was not matching what existed in the law. So at this time, AI tools are not able to replace lawyers or even entry-level lawyers. But I am trying out some tools right now that have just come out. Not ChatGPT, but they utilize ChatGPT. These tools have all the federal and state cases in there. They have all the statutes. And so it has a lot of resources that ChatGPT doesn't have access to because not all of these cases are on the internet, and ChatGPT just uses the internet. So I do think ChatGPT can be great for certain purposes, and even these tools can be great for certain purposes. I'll give you an example of how I used ChatGPT recently. I was contacted by a restaurant owner who was looking at selling the business, and I said, you know what? I know what kind of questions I would normally ask a restaurant owner who wants to sell the business, but let me see what ChatGPT would say. So I told ChatGPT, you are a lawyer who represents business owners selling their businesses, because I want ChatGPT to step into my shoes. You are about to speak with a restaurant owner. What questions would you ask the restaurant owner in preparation for getting the restaurant ready to be sold? Question mark. And then I'd add another statement. What factors would you need to consider when determining if the restaurant is ready to be sold? What are some questions to ask to potentially increase the value of the restaurant? I asked ChatGPT all that. The result was fantastic. I'd say about 30% of the responses from ChatGPT were not on my list in advance of the meeting. And I'd say about 40% of the items that I felt were important weren't in ChatGPT. What's the takeaway here? It's a great tool to augment or complement what you are doing as a professional, but it isn't yet a replacement for that. Do I think ChatGPT will be able to replace lawyers? Yes. A lot of simple lawyer tasks will be replaced. For example, I had a contract recently, and the contract, that template that I wanted to modify, had parties who were companies. So their pronouns were its, their, and it was a female selling to a male in my new scenario. So I had to change all the pronouns. I just explained to ChatGPT, I'm going to give you a contract. And by the way, I sanitized it of client information first before I put it in there, because whatever you put in ChatGPT can be used to educate it. So you want to make sure you're being very careful there. But I put in a a sanitized contract, and I asked it to change all the pronouns and explained how, and it rewrote everything. So instead of hiring somebody like a young associate or a paralegal to go through and replace that, it was done in just a matter of seconds. So that's a great example of where AI can save time for attorneys, save money for clients, and allow attorneys to focus on what's more interesting and not the kind of minutia of practicing law. Other examples are you put 100,000 documents into ChatGPT and you say, identify the documents that support this argument or find this thing. It doesn't mean you can give up your job as an attorney, but this AI is an incredible way to augment or support what you're already doing with a powerful tool. In the old days, when somebody was doing farming by hand, they might use a hoe or a shovel. And then came along the plow that could be pulled by an ox to break up the ground. If farmers said, hey, I'm not going to use this new efficient tool, I'm going to do it the old way, they were not competitive. Now, by the way, did the hand-drawn plow mean that everybody could now just do their own farming? Well, they could, but it doesn't mean they wanted to. Likewise, when we converted from the plow to the tractor, did everybody say, oh, now I can just buy a tractor and I'll do my own food? No. So I don't think people will say, now that I have AI, I don't need a lawyer. I think they'll just want to hire a lawyer who's using AI, using the powerful tools that are available, and being the most efficient and effective in what they're doing. So I believe AI is a new tool, and it's incumbent on lawyers to utilize AI to effectively serve their clients in the future. I don't believe AI will wipe out the profession of law. All right, that wraps it up for today. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications, or you can get our emails. To do that, go to aaronhall.com/free, enter your email address, and you'll also get access to exclusive videos that aren't available to the public. It was a pleasure having you here today. I look forward to seeing you next time.